Brethren, I would like to talk with you today about Masonic behaviour. The statement was recently made to me that as Grand Master of Freemasons Victoria, I am the defender of our Book of Constitutions. That assertion is only partly true. We are all defenders of the Book of Constitutions. We are all custodians of our ancient charges. From our own mouths, every one of us has sworn obligations of how we promise we will behave. At the Grand Installation, all Grand Masters take the most solemn obligation about preserving our values. Prior to their first degree, every candidate commits their signature to codes of conduct. At every degree, each Victorian Freemason offers important lifetime promises about how they will conduct themselves. The ancient charges are listed at the start of our Book of Constitutions, a copy of which is presented to every entered apprentice at their initiation. The ancient charges are read in open lodge to every master-elect, and they are published on the internet for the entire world to see. As Freemasons, we agree to be good men and true and strictly to obey the moral law. We commit to each be a peaceable subject and chiefly to conform to the laws of the country in which we reside. We promise not to be concerned in plots or conspiracies against government, but patiently to submit to the decisions of the Supreme Legislature. We agree to pay a proper respect to the civil magistrate, to work diligently, live creditably, and act honourably by all men. We hold in veneration the original rulers and patrons of the Order of Freemasonry and their regular successors, supreme and subordinate, according to their stations, and to submit to the awards and resolutions of brethren in general lodge convened, in every case consistent with the constitutions of the Order. We agree to avoid private piques and quarrels and to guard against intemperance and excess. We agree to be cautious in our carriage and behaviour, courteous to our brethren, and faithful to our lodge. We promise to respect genuine and true brethren and to discountenance impostors and all dissenters from the original plan of Freemasonry. We agree to promote the general good of society, to cultivate the social virtues, and to propagate the knowledge of the mystic art as far as our influence and ability can extend. We promise to pay homage to the Grand Master for the time being and to his officers when duly installed, and strictly to conform to every edict of Grand Lodge. We admit that it is not in the power of any man or body of men to make innovation in the body of Masonry. We promise a regular attendance on the communications and committees of Grand Lodge upon receiving proper notice thereof, and to pay attention to all the duties of Freemasonry upon proper and convenient occasions. We agree to other commitments as well. Masters-elect offer their commitment to the ancient charges by offering their sign of fidelity. At our degree ceremonies, every one of us freely speaks those commitments out loud, witnessed by our fellow brethren. Sometimes a few of our brethren lose their way. They stray from the solemn Masonic promises that they have made. Sometimes, instead of supporting a brother, they err by slandering him. Sometimes, instead of following our rules, they make public utterances, often on social media, beyond what we all agree is permissible. It's apparent that some brethren believe they can say or do anything within our craft without consequence. In life, Masonic or not, there are always consequences for the rule breakers, and the consequences often become more dire for those who are repeat offenders, for those who demonstrate contempt, for those who show no contrition, for those who thumb their nose at the rest of us. Our fraternity has established procedures for dealing with those who are accused of breaking the rules. This is not a one-man band. It's not a case of the Grand Master acting as judge and jury. In the past, we have an ethics committee. We now have an integrity unit that can initiate its own probes, and it investigates complaints. We have a complaints committee to make evidence-based findings and determinations. We have a complaints review committee to provide further assessments where necessary. There are a number of levels of checks and balances to ensure procedural fairness for all concerned. They are shared, collegiate decisions by experienced, eminent Freemasons. The Grand Master of the Day also has wide-ranging discretion for measures in dealing with members who breach our accepted practices. Some of those steps open to the fraternity may include mediation, counselling, suspension or expulsion. In serious cases, grand rank may be removed from members found after due process to have breached our rules. Suspension of membership is another possible outcome. Matters of expulsion can be a shared decision of members on the floor of Grand Lodge. As your Grand Master, I want you to know that I will not shirk my solemn responsibilities in ensuring that a number of Freemasons who have been found by proper process to have breached our obligations are answerable. I will have no hesitation in ensuring that all due processes are followed. At all times, I listen to the advice of our Grand Registrar, who is an eminent Queen's Counsel. I take the advice of our legal advisors. Proper process will always be followed. I will have no hesitation in stripping the grand rank of offenders. I will have no hesitation in suspending the membership of those found to be recalcitrant repeat offenders. Freemasons Victoria is an organisation of good men who support each other, their families and their communities. Those who fail to support others, those who want to cause trouble, those intent on misbehaving, are not welcome. As your Grand Master, I recommit to defending our fraternity from the misguided few who set out to disrupt brotherly love, relief and truth. I hope it is clear that I have no intention to resile from my duty to hold people accountable for bad behaviour. Happily, the vast majority of our brethren behave according to their oaths and do their very best to be good men and treat all people with due respect. I want to take this opportunity to express my gratitude to all of you who live up to our high standards. As part of the change management process, we will be implementing the share tree approach to cultural engagement. You'll hear more about that very soon from the change team. The basis of this approach is for all of us to express our gratitude to each other for behaviour that aligns with our values. I'm looking forward to us all noticing the little things we do that make a big difference. The research is clear. Focusing on positive behaviour is always better than punishing bad behaviour. I encourage you all now to start to notice good behaviour and acknowledge the person with gratitude. Goodbye.